All right, I guess we'll start with the Champions League draw. It's December 13th. Before we do that, to catch you up on the results, we drew with AC Milan, which was kind of disappointing, but it was a really heavily rotated squad. We beat Cologne 1-0, which wasn't very convincing. We have to take on Mainz, and then we have the winter break. So, as you do, does it really matter? I mean, we're in pot 1, so Ajax, Basel would be amazing. Basel would be amazing. It's Juve and Roma down here. Man U, Sporting. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we missed Man United. That's probably good. We can't get Bayern, I don't think. Basel? Oh, Benfica. Ajax? That's us. Okay. We miss Juve. I think that's a win to get Ajax. Currently top of the Eredivisie. I'm sure they've won the league like every year running. They've got quite the good squad. Joshua Zirkzee is at Ajax, my friends. A little reunion tour. Let's see what else happens in today's episode, because I've got to get to the transfer window, and I don't know if we're going to be transferring players or not. All right, my friends, it doesn't look like much has changed. Our bank balance is 102 million. I meant changed in the window. That's a big change. You see this lovely little mountains that appear every summer because we're doing really well in the league. Our net debt is back up to 47.5, which is a tad bit surprising, to be honest with you. Projection-wise, everything's looking rosy. Things are going up, lots of up, yay. Let me show you what we've done. We're not going to do Bayern Munich today. I thought we were, but I think we got enough to talk about for an entire episode, so we're going to do that. First up, we've sold David Hanko to Real Sociedad for a bargain basement price. This is the frustrating thing. It's like his value is now 18 to 22 million. Okay, we sold him for 6.5. I think it rises potentially, to 7.25. I think that's a good deal. He'd only given us 6 appearances, all starts on a 7-4-8. Like, he was the, hey, if we're playing bottom of the league, rolled Hanko out there type guy. Last season gave us 15, so his utilization obviously is dropping. 31 games, 24 games, 15 games, 6 games. Cash in while you can, save a little bit on the wage budget, and he's 30, so he's not going to get, obviously, any younger or any better. So if somebody wants to use him and they'll play him as a regular starter, I thought it was a good deal for both parties. So I just go like, there's no way we would have gotten 20 million. No, not a chance. And the reason we did that is because of Jonathan Calvinho not getting a lot of playing time in Nantes. Okay, that's one. Again, I don't think that's not accurate. That he wasn't there the whole season, so we didn't get paid those loan payments. That's an error by FM. It should only show you what you actually got, which would be like roughly half of that. Okay, so he still got paid quite nicely to help offset some of our transfer costs here, but only 2 starts and 2 subs on a 6-7-7. He did get injured, so I don't really blame them. They had somebody come in and like take his spot, but like he's not been able to earn it back, and so it was time to bring him back. We made a promise that we would if they didn't play him. And so with him needing to come back, I went, well, okay, then we can sell Hanko. The only difference being he's right-footed and Hanko is left-footed, and I love a left-footed left center back. But it is what it is. This guy's worth 36 to 42 million in some theoretical land. We also sold / he signed an end of contract Marcel Laskowski, who's just some youth prospect. We got a whole $5,000 for him. I thought that was important enough to show you. Everybody's like, I track every penny. I know someone's got a spreadsheet. Pekka Wickman in the comments will be happy we've sold Divock Origi. And that is gutting. I'm really sad about it, to be honest with you. He dropped to being 3-star in comparison to the rest of the squad. He's about to be 33, which is all stuff where you're like, yeah. So why'd you offer an extension? If he had not had this hip injury where he's out for 2 months, I wouldn't have been worried about it. He took a pay cut for us. He wants to stick around. There's a natural progression to where he starts falling off and like Balogun takes his spot or Wahid plays more of the left inverted forward. You know, like, lots of options. Great locker room guy, ton of determination. But, like, team leader, love him to death. You know, he came, like, you cannot argue that Divock Origi was not a good signing for us. We made money on him. Now, we paid him a high wage, but it worked within our wage budget. But, I mean, 14 goals, 8 assists, 9 goals, 5 assists, 12 goals, 8 assists. And then this season, obviously, because he's out for 8 weeks, he only gets the 6 total appearances and 1 assist, which is obviously disappointing. But I think he came in and did quite the job for us. But Ajax came in, and I was like, no, they offered like 16 million. And I was like, nah. But Sporting was interested, and his value was listed like, I don't know, whatever, about 20 million. And I was like, well, what if we tried? Because we did have our eye on another prospect, which I will show you in a second, because we signed that prospect, and we were able to do one of those things where we put in the offer that said we have to sell Divock Origi first, primarily because we didn't have the funds to pay for the next transfer. So Origi is about to be 33, and we sold him for straight up, no clauses, no nothing, 21 million. And in his stead, we have signed Jens Petter Hag, a Norwegian. Okay, does he have any kind of... No, he's not. Yeah, he's a Bodo Glimt prospect. Who is 28 and a half. So you go from almost 33 to 28 and a half. Not even a half. October, whatever that is. 28 and a quarter. So we've saved like 3 years of age. Now, I'm not saying he's, from a star rating standpoint, he's better. So maybe all-around general better player. He's very versatile, obviously, as well. You can play him anywhere you like, even in midfield, I guess. But really, he is taking Divock's place on the inside. He knows the inside or inverted winger best, but you got the inside forward. He can do the job there, which is what we're going to ask him to do. It's what we got him training on. Plays his shots, plays 1-2s, does not dive into tackles. He's worth 44 to 49 million, my friends, and we got him for 19 and a half. So do you see why I was not going to sell Divock Origi, but then we found this guy, and he had a clause for clubs in the Champions League. He plays in the Bundesliga. He's familiar with the league. He scored 14 goals this season for Eintracht Frankfurt. I feel kind of bad because they're currently in 6th, and I'm guessing he was probably their top goal scorer. Let's just take a look. Oh, yes, by a long shot. So we've stolen, we are that evil Bayern Munich-esque club. We've stolen Eintracht Frankfurt's top goal scorer because they had a good clause in there for us. And he's had a great season. Now, before that, you could argue, not so much. But if you look at Eintracht Frankfurt, yeah, you can kind of see they're kind of up and down. They've been down for several seasons. And he's been doing his job, 10 goals, 4 assists. You know, like, it might be a mistake. But we've essentially traded older Origi for slightly younger Jens. Reduced our wage an extra 15 grand from Origi, which is about 1 or 2 million. I don't know. 15 grand, 780 grand a year. And we, you know, the difference is $1.5 million in just the transfer, right? So I think it's a good deal. He's significantly better than Balogun, who doesn't... Okay, this is another thing that I've noticed. Does this happen? Does this happen to you? I cannot pick a best role on this guy right now. I can pick anything I want. Nope, nothing changes. So I think it's looking at him as AML. Does it change down there? It does change. Oh, it's decided to start working. Okay, great, fantastic. And you'll note, Balogun is not even on this list. And Balogun is a natural left inverted player. Like, that's not very good, but he's clearly an upgrade, and I'm quite pleased with it. We have signed a player named Dele Agu. He's Scottish. We signed him from Celtic. That's not how that goes. Anyway, 16 appearances, 4 goals, and 8 assists for Celtic B. He's a punt. We agreed to loan him out, 1.3 million. They're paying half of his wages, or essentially half of his wages, with a monthly fee and blah 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 blah. I think he may not play for us. He could reach 3.5 stars, which would be quite a good player. Like, we have to remember that we have improved the quality of the squad. Therefore, you know, he's 6'2", He likes to play 1-2s. He's got fantastic passing. The tackling needs work. Fair. He's got 2 starts, 1 sub on a 7-1-7 in the Zweite Bundesliga with Werder Bremen. Again, they're paying half his wages. You pay 1.3 million for a guy that you sell in a year for 5 million. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And last but not least, Alexander Milovanovic. A Serbian 20-year-old wonder kid. Not for the inside forward it has him selected as. We could have traded, I guess, this guy as an inside forward on the left, but he's really the Daryl DK replacement, except he doesn't play pressing forward. He could play complete forward or advanced forward is his favored situation. He's got pace for days, so I think that makes a ton of sense. Advanced forward, like put him up top, pass into space as part of our gegenpressing, get the ball to Alexander. And this is the last one. We paid $5 million for him. He had a clause. I can't remember if it was foreign clubs or clubs in the Champions League. It doesn't really matter. So, and he's worth $20 million. And the reason we signed him is, why are you showing me the players on the right? All right, here we go. DK has fallen off a little bit from a star rating standpoint. Now, and there was somebody interested in him at one point, and I thought, ooh, if he goes, we just have Wahid, and then I thought Origi might go, and I was like, uh-oh, we're pretty short on striking players at that point. Turns out they did not come in for Daryl DK. We can sell him in the summer. I think it's kind of time. Although, to be completely honest with you, he gave us 19 goals last season, 22 the year before that, and thus far, in 16 total appearances, he's given us 9. So he's on track. So maybe we just keep him around and drop him to a squad player. Because his wages are pretty good at 65 grand. That sounds weird to say. And it also gives Alexander a chance to, develop. So his long shots need improvement. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's 20 years old. He's a wonder kid. We paid $5 million for him, and we're paying him 17.5 grand a week. I think it's a pretty good deal. All in all, I think you can argue we've balanced it out pretty well. 64 million in, and then over there, 46 million out. Obviously, that has been investment, but we're also going to the Champions League group stage, now the knockout round. We finished second last season. We are generating revenue for the club and mostly balancing it out. They actually gave us, I don't think it's going to show up here, but they gave us an extra 5.25 in the transfer budget when I bought Alexander, because we were essentially down to 0. And they're like, oh, here's a little bit more in your pocket. And again, we've got, 100 grand a wage budget we could do something with. We got the transfer budget, but the window just closed. There's no need to make any other changes. We were not able to loan out Leandro Nunez, but that's because he is probably our backup now. But let's be honest with you. I did start him in one game against Cologne, and we won 1-0. We did a friendly. He also played in the friendly you're seeing here against Hamburg. 5-3, which was a 6.3 from our keeper is the reason they scored 3 goals. He's a work in progress. We also beat Olympic Club Charleroi 12-0, which was, a nice way to come back from New Year's break, I guess. We beat Leipzig 3-1. They had a man sent off, but at the end of the game, was it already done and dusted? I mean, it was 2-1 at that point, and it ended up giving us a penalty. Gladbach also had a man sent off, which was kind of crazy. Yellow card accumulation. It took us a long time, and we finally get the winner in the 94th minute. Hertha Berlin, a tidy 3-0 first half win. And then Eintracht Frankfurt, minus their top goal scorer. They did score like the 30th second of the game, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, they're super motivated to, avenge the transfer or whatever. But Balogun and Wahid end up getting in on the goal scoring to win 2-1. We take on Bayern Munich in 2 days. Here's how the squad looks right now. Scarlat, look at his value. 69 to 79 million. Why is his determination dropping? Come on, mate. God, just so much green. So much green. Batella, Anel. We have Ryan Adenori playing, which I'm really glad we have him and he's around, because Aduato and I think it was Calvino and maybe even Nunez were at something. What were they doing? It was something to do with, maybe it was the Copa America? What did the under-23s do? Schedule. Okay, they were just gone with the under-23s, and there is nothing showing. Oh, that's because I'm looking at the senior squad. Lovely stuff. And then, of course, this is... It's the Olympics. Okay, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So, like, all of our South American players up and disappeared. So, they've just come back, like, today, which is probably why I got 2 days to decide if Aduato or Ignuri plays. But they've been playing, you know, pretty well. So, that's what happened at the transfer window, my friends. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hopefully, you're doing well. We'll see you next time. Can we beat Bayern Munich, please? Please?